Yo, the quantum couch, the quantum couch, the quantum couch, you better bet that shit. The quantum couch, you better bet that shit. It's Steven and Bruce, the quantum couch.
This is the debut kickoff episode of the Quantum Couch.
The quantum couch. We should start with the explanation of the name.
Yes.
Why we chose the quantum couch, because people are confused on the name. They don't know. People I mentioned, obviously, they're not people from the culture, right? They're not nerdy, geeky people. But
Right.
for the layman, what does that mean? What is a quantum couch?
Yeah, I think a really simpleton way to describe it is that this is a place where we can just talk about anything and everything around pop culture. And with how fast we can kind of jump about different topics, that's going through that quantum time. And we're chilling. So it's kind of a name that speaks for itself, really. If you kind of just understand words, you use your brain, I think it's something where
Yeah.
it makes sense. But in the
No, no,
realm of we're
absolutely.
doing, it's just all nerdy stuff from comic books to
Yeah.
movies to shows, anime, music. We'll talk about everything. So this is really the place to be.
Yeah. I think what they're gonna get from us um is gonna be a it's gonna be us tapping into all things culture, right?
Mhm.
Specifically, the zeitgeist in which we come from, right? Like the nerdy scope of things. Like you said, it's a quantum kind of entanglement of different cultures and arts that we're gonna explore. And one of the best parts about that is gonna be that we both come from two different generations, so we're gonna have two different perspectives that's gonna come together and kind of interpret these things. And I'm sure there's going to be overlaps and there's going to be differences and things that we're both going to teach each other from our
Oh, for
experiences,
sure.
plus some fun stories, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's good for the audience to know if they don't know us personally, which we'll probably have some listeners that do. Um, I wouldn't even say that it's a huge like difference in generation. Obviously, I'm 25, so I'm
yeah.
still technically like a baby to the entire world. But in those 25 years, I've done nothing but waste 25 years by watching and learning everything that there is that I can to be nerdy. So that's kind of my whole background. So
I would never say a waste. This is
that's true.
brilliance, and this is why it gave birth to this moment right now. So it's never a waste. But
This
yeah,
is
I'm
25 years in the making.
in the making. And me, obviously I'm double that age, right? Let's just say. And yeah, and I've been I was there from like a lot of beginnings. I mean, that's where I
Yeah,
think I'm gonna have a lot of information from. I was there from like I remember seeing Empire Strikes Back in the theater with my dad.
that's awesome.
And then I remember having the first iteration before they were on, I think Hasbro, GI Joe action figures, the little ones,
Oh
not the big
yes,
army men, but the little ones. Like I had them before they were actually on Hasbro, and so things like that, I'll have like, tons of little quips and stuff to be able to touch on when we get into some of those deep dives and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah.
excited.
It's gonna be a very interesting show. The way that we can delve into certain things. We kind of talked about it before we even started, where you know we can both get a little invested into certain conversations. So we'll definitely have episodes where we just do nothing but talk about that one subject. And maybe we're contradicting ourselves. Maybe in that episode we start talking about something else for a long time too. So who knows where it goes? But as of right now, it's really just kind of off the top of the head. We'll have an idea before we record of what we want to do, and then it'll probably change when we record. But who cares?
Yeah, this is not supposed to be pristine. This is not supposed to be clean. It's just supposed to be gritty, raw, from the consciousness, where we explore some of the cool things. Just two guys having great conversations, inviting other people to be involved in it. And hopefully, when we figure out in a more prolonged term, we can, maybe a different kind of home setting where we can have chat involvement and all kinds of other stuff that we can do. I mean, that's ambitiously the next steps to once we figure out where we're gonna go next. But I definitely I'm excited for all of this, really, and I hope
Same.
everybody is as well. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and there's probably gonna be a
and
lot of people
guests.
yeah, I was gonna say, there's been a lot of conversations already
Yeah.
of, like, guests on the show. And I'm not trying to
Mhm.
tease any viewers and be like, "Guys, next week Kevin Feige's gonna be on," but, it's gonna be people that we know,
Hey.
and people that like nerdy stuff, and, as long as they share the same values, and which is just
Mhm.
loving comic books and just love just being you, I think that's just a great person to have on the show. There's a lot of different insight we can
Yeah.
get from a lot of people. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah. Let's kick it off then.
Let's do it.
So what? Yeah. What do? Okay. So what's on our top of the agenda, right? Like, what are we looking at? What's our first thing?
I'd say the top of the agenda here is maybe going into a little bit about like your backstory. What really got you into this kind of realm and world and of like just nerdiness? What hooked you?
For me, there was several different factors. One, coming from that generation where a lot of this was not, it wasn't cultural yet, right? Like it was just experimental things. Like Star Wars was a cultural phenomenon, but it didn't have a culture to support it yet. It was just a science fiction movie that blew up popular culture. But it was like those kind of things that brought me in. But also coming from an environment like I came from, which was like inner city, tough and tumble kind of really hard environment, sometimes you needed escapism. And a lot of that was escapism for us. Like we would read comic books and imagine that, I don't know, like Batman would save the day in our neighborhood kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
I don't know, it's
with
just things
where you
like
grew
that.
up, it's
So it was,
possible.
yeah, yeah, hopefully, silly sentimental things like that um were driving points, right? And then obviously, as culture started to develop around these things, because there was a niche for it, right? Um, you know, being at its inception, you also try to find things that associate in that same imagination realm. So Dungeons and Dragons and you know what I mean, video games, uh just even other literature books, like Tolkien and things like that. Those are things that then begin to filter in, which are indirectly associated, but you find them interesting because they speak the same language that some of these other things did. So, yeah, so for me, that's what brought me in. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, two totally different upbringings. Growing up, it's just one of those things where being kind of like the baby of the family, and there would be a lot of like hand me downs. So, I mean, whenever I got like a hand me down like toy and it was Spider Man, I was just like, I mean, every kid, you kind of, at least for me, um, when I was born, you're basically born into knowing who Spider Man is. Like, you got t shirts
Mhm.
everywhere, the it's just there. So I mean, growing up when I had that, I had like a Fantastic Four themed birthday. Uh, I just grew
Nice.
up loving anything that was superhero related. And at that time, I didn't think of like, oh, I'm a nerd or I like nerdy stuff. It was just like, no, superheroes are just cool. And I wish I was Spider Man in my backyard. Like, it was just stuff like that that kind of sprouted it. And then when you get into all of things Star Wars, um, I just think that whole world is just so interesting. And I remember my mom and my dad both showing me the original trilogy the right way. They
Mm.
showed me the original trilogy and then the prequels
Yeah.
afterwards. The right way to
Which is
watch it.
that's another conversation, by the way, the right way. Like it's four,
Yes.
five, six, one, two, yeah, 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 yeah.
And there's so
What
many
order
too. Like
should we
I've
watch them
seen,
in?
yeah, that's a whole conversation because I was just about to start going
Yeah,
off
that's a
on a
whole nother.
tangent.
No, no, no. But
Um,
you, yeah,
but
that's one of those subjects we're gonna hit, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for sure. But yeah, it's one of those things where I mean, I just kind of grew up with having it around me in the house since my siblings had stuff like that. So it kind of got
Mm.
tossed down to me whether I wanted to catch it or not. And since I think it's such a brilliant idea, and similar to your thing, it's like an escape. If I was having a rough day at
Yeah.
school or there was like a rough day at the house, I could just go to my bedroom and see like the little Spider-Man stuff that I had or Spider-Man books, and I would just try to doodle. It was just stuff like that. I think that's where my creative
Yeah.
process outside of it comes from too, is just I love creating because of the things I got to see people create. And yeah, that's why I got into it.
Well, and I think there's both the nurture and nature, not versus, but nurture and nature, right? Of ourselves. Like what they say, the difference between skill and talent is, right?
Mm,
Talent is something you're born with, skill is something you establish. But I think the same thing for us who are in that nerdy space. We're naturally born with this imaginative mind, right? That might be more
yeah.
organic. And then the escapism is a part of the way that we utilize that space, that creative space in that way of growing with it, right? And I think
Yeah.
both of those things are so important because you are very talented, and that's not something that comes from escapism. That is a
Mm,
use or a tool for escaping. And so,
true.
yeah, bravo to that. I think so. Those two things are synonymous. I don't think they're separate.
Yeah,
I think both of those things in you are great. Yeah. Yeah.
for
So
sure.
props to you on that.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean that's kind of where that's like a brief background of where we came from. Uh we'll probably drop more stuff down the line when it comes to story times or just fun little,
See,
things that we have. Bruce is filled with stories. He could probably carry an episode with stories. Who knows, maybe that
yeah,
might
don't get
happen
me
one
started.
day.
Those
Next
who
really
know
on
me
the
know.
oh my god, yeah. And if for those who don't know, Bruce and I we work together. And I honestly, I tried thinking about this the other day because I was like, how do I even describe to people how I met Bruce or how we like met each other? And it just had to have been through my dad. My dad
Oh
also
yeah,
works with
for
us
sure.
too. It's a family tree, I mean, we're all family. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know because I was like, when was the first time I sat down and spoke with Bruce one on one, like without my dad being there? And I don't even know. It's just
I
one
think
of those things where it
it was
sprouted.
one. It was you're right. I think for me it was I caught you in the hallway and I said to you, I was like, "Your dad is my dad," and then something
Yeah.
like and then it became a thing like that, like a thing, like it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then we ran with that for a while to the point where it developed into then the rest of us. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Which
think
is
that's
so
how that
wild.
came about. Like,
And I'll never forget, like, whenever I'd bump into Bruce and whatnot, and like we would be talking, it was always about stuff like this that we're doing today. It was always just like, oh, did you
yeah,
see this? Are you gonna watch this? And then it got to a point where it was like we have really good conversations at work about this stuff, and you know if someone isn't listening, I may or may not have been a minute or two late from my break, but those conversations they kind of just
I don't
lead
got those ears on
to
today.
right, yeah, yeah, they just kind of lead to like we thought about, you know what, we should just do like a podcast, like a form of just talking, because I think these conversations are really good for people. I think a lot of people need to hear these, as well as I just want to hear what more people say, whether it's guests that we have on the show or a community that potentially can get built. So that's really
100%.
where the culmination of all this started, and I'm so excited for the next jump into the next topic,
Yeah,
because this
me too.
is where
Me
we might
too.
start fighting.
Ah,
We
okay,
already had
what
a
do you
little
got?
debate.
Bring it
Not
out. Bring it
not
out.
even not even a fluster. Bruce is just like, I straight up disagree with you there. We talked about something earlier. That's another episode. But we're gonna start off here to kind of like a little bit of get to know each other. Your top 5 movies of all time, and that's a very difficult thing to talk about because, like Bruce was saying pre-recording,
Yeah,
this could change at any time. This could change next week. This could change tomorrow. Um, but
yeah.
as of today, do you want me to kick it off, or do you want to kick it off your top 5?
I'll let no, you go first. You go first. Because mine's is gonna come from the stream of consciousness.
Okay.
So you go first. Because God knows I'm gonna probably go into details and shit. things that are probably gonna hit differently. All right, you first.
Probably. Well, let's see. We'll see. We'll start off with number one, my favorite movie of all time. And I think cinematically, it's masterfully shot. I think the score is fantastic. It is The Shining by Stanley Kubrick.
Freaking good movie. God,
Absolutely
that is
love this
such a good
movie.
choice.
Every time I watch
Definitely
it,
great.
Jack Nicholson is the fucking man, and Shelley
He is
Duvall, God
good.
rest her soul, she
Yes.
is tremendous through all the
God.
torment and pain she put through. I mean, she's just and one of the most iconic performances in cinematic history. But yes,
And
The
you know
Shining is
what's
number
sad
one.
for me? What's sad for
Hmm.
me, just to touch on that real quick, is that I'd forgotten about how dope that movie is until right now when you mentioned it. Like, I legitimately forgot how dope that was.
It's
Great
amazing.
fucking movie.
Awesome
Amazing movie.
transitions.
So many good moments.
It is so good. And that's one of the movies that I will die on the hill that it's my favorite. I mean, I own so many copies of the movie. I have the book.
Oh,
I
wow.
have
Yeah.
my wonderful girlfriend Hannah got me a script autographed by Jack Nicholson. So I mean, like, it's one of those things where it
Are you
is.
serious,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm gonna take a picture and I'll send it to you, and maybe I'll put it on our social media. I'll take a picture of the pod. We'll do a moment from
Yes.
the
All
pod.
right. All right. All right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I got an autograph with the script. It is something that's meant so much to me. It'll never change from number one either. I don't care what movie comes out.
Nice.
That'll always seal that spot.
Okay. I like that. I rocks with that.
Jumping into number two, we're kind of jumping into the newer age of movies here, somewhat recent. My favorite comedy movie of all time, Shaun of the Dead. I mean,
Another good
it
freaking
is so,
choice.
it is such a funny
Chef's
movie,
Kiss.
quotable.
That
I mean,
checks a
that's one
lot
of
of
the
boxes.
yeah, it is just and it's one of those movies where I mean Simon Pegg is just brilliant.
Amazing.
And it's also
Brilliant.
one of those movies you could just quote all the time. You can bring up different parts
Yep.
of the movie where they're throwing the records at the zombie. It's like, don't throw that one, you know. Yeah, that's number two.
Wow.
Uh,
Good choice. I like it.
n- Number three, you already know of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What more is there to
Another good
say
choice.
other than wow? The
Tarantino.
Tarantino's violence is unmatched on screen. I think. Um,
Yeah.
His dialogue is very choosy as well. He picks certain words to throw at you so you kind of forget about certain topics, and he uses the other
Mm-hmm.
dialogue to bring you back to that moment. And I think he's a master at his craft. Despite
Good.
personality wise, I'm not a fan of him. Um, and then for number four, these are going to be ones that could flip flop really any day. But what got me into loving Spider Man is Spider Man 2. I mean,
Okay.
it's probably the best out of the Toby trilogy. And
The Remy verse.
yeah, the
The
Raimi
Remy
verse
verse. Hmm.
is so
Yeah.
it is just so great. I mean, with him losing his powers,
Good movie.
Doc Ock is a great
Yeah.
villain. The train scene,
Great
I
film.
mean, you just have everything. And then
Just
to end
yeah.
it all off,
Iconic.
it's to end off Spider-Man 2. I mean, you just have one of the most also just beautifully crafted movies, I think. Um, and I'm a huge fan. It'll never change. And then my last one another one that kind of just revolves around my personality and the things that I love is Nacho Libre. I love wrestling. I
Okay.
love Jack
All
Black.
right.
It's just a fun movie,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's just I
All
love
right.
it. And growing up in a Hispanic household, I mean, my mom's side, I love that stuff. So I think it's in my blood
Yeah.
to love Nacho.
Yeah. Good. Good. I like your top five.
It's
I
not bad.
especially
It's a little
like
new school,
your
but it's
top
not bad.
four. Sure. No, I
Oh
like
yeah,
it. I think that all of those have well-rounded, good, solid points that you can always point out to why it was a good choice. Honestly, there's
yeah,
no fallacy there. Um,
perfect.
for me, I would say, and this is again from the stream of consciousness.
Hmm.
I didn't really think this through, but only because I'm emotionally connected to a lot of these movies will I consider them my favorite. But I would say if I had to put any movie at number one, uh, it would be The Never Ending Story.
Oh,
I love that movie for so many reasons, but specifically an emotional reason because I saw that in the theater with my older brother Jay, and the I think that movie presents the opportunity to look at every child that ever wanted to escape something did so through their imagination and always wished that they would be swept away by it. And in this movie, this kid does, right? And
Yeah.
so that is beautiful. There's emotionally heartbreaking moments like when the horse dies. You know, there's just it's such a good movie. Watch it, right?
I think
Um,
everybody needs to see that movie. If you want a good cry too. Like that is a movie
yeah,
where
I'm telling you,
if you're having a rough day, maybe don't put that on because it's gonna make your day a little
don't
bit
put
harder.
that on.
So
No.
still a fantastic movie
Um,
though.
very good movie. Number one. Um, I think number two I struggle with a little bit because there's so many that could fit in number two for me. But I would say a movie that I could watch again and again and never get bored of and always love thematically is going to be a movie that I don't know if a lot of people's ever seen. It's Al Pacino and it's Carlito's Way. For me,
Seen it.
Carlito's Way, it's so good. It's a movie that fits into me again, another emotional space because the guy in there remind me of my father in his younger years when I was a kid. And years later on in my life, some of those things have reflected me. So I love it. It's a good movie. Al Pacino, amazing. He was already kind of middle aged when he did it, so it's interesting to see. Very Puerto Rican base. He plays a Puerto Rican guy, which is interesting because he's Italian, right? So it's a good movie. And it's got Sean Penn who plays like a Jewish
Oh
lawyer.
wow.
Like there's so much good in there. Yeah, it's such a good movie. Luis Guzman, which I know personally, he grew up with my uncles in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. So
That's
like things
awesome.
like that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so that would be my number two. Um, Number three would have to be Star Wars, right? And where the complication with Star Wars is which of the three, right? For me, I'm very I favor Return of the Jedi because I feel it's a good comeback story, right?
It's
There's
also just
so many
emotionally
great
raw.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This you could tell that when they saw and they did number four, they looked at four and said, "I'm building Buck Rogers. I'm building science fiction." Right? Whereas like number five, they go, wow, we had success. How do we now bring thematically something new to that, emotionally driven now? Let's touch on the things that we didn't think would work on that first film that now we could build and flesh out a world with, right? So you get like the return of Luke Skywalker and he's got this, different he's more mature, right? He realized he kissed his sister and it's kind of weird, kind of shit happening, right? There's
Something
this
ain't right in the
weird
galaxy
space that
there.
happens. Yeah, it's fucking weird. But so that would be like my number three.
Wow.
um yeah, right, it's
I
all
love
over the
that
place.
pick.
uh yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say number four is a movie with a lot of quotables for me,
Mhm.
and it's The Princess Bride, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
love The Princess Bride. I think it's such a perfect movie. I would at any day put that as my number two and number three. If I watched it right now, I'd be like, no, that's easily my number two.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So definitely, yeah, definitely love that movie.
Iconic.
It's got good actors in it. It is Fred Savage as a kid. Um, it's got Andre the Giant. I mean, there's so many good things in there. Good writing. Um, and then I think number five, I'm gonna go away from the geeky world in some respect. Well, I did with Carlitos Way, but I'm gonna go into another kind of direction with that and say um Juice.
Oh my
the movie
gosh.
Juice with
Let me look up the
Tupac
cast
in
of that
his
movie again.
starring role.
Yes.
Yeah, Omar Epps, Tupac Shakur, Tresh for Naughty by Nature. I loved it. It was one of it's not considered a hip hop movie per se, but it is. And I think it's because there's a lot of hip hop elements, street elements. It's New York centric. It feels like New York to me. If I ever missed the 1990s New York, I watch that and I feel I'm back home again. So
Right.
Juice would be definitely my number 5 movie.
Wow.
And who doesn't love a little Tupac Shakur? Come on,
I mean,
seriously?
legend.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an episode. Oh my god, that's a whole episode.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
love to do a
I mean, I,
bracket
I go down a
artist
rabbit hole.
list. Yeah,
Woo,
Bruce is a music guy
that's
here,
hard for me.
especially
Yeah,
when it comes
absolutely.
down
If
to
I
hip hop, like R&B. I mean, this is your guy. This is what you want to listen to.
if, if I turn my camera around, you see all my records. I got records
It's
from wall to
insane.
wall over here. Yeah,
I've seen the
yeah,
pictures on Facebook.
and my
My golly,
turntables. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
pretty
And I've
impressive.
got all kinds of music. I got Amy Winehouse. I got classic soul going back to the '60s and '70s. Anyways, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, music's another one of those things where we could probably lean into. Going from Juiced, I mean, what a movie. I've seen it once in my life because
Yeah,
one of my friends actually told me to watch it in high school. Um, and
yeah,
I was surprised with
it's
how
good.
actually like kind of emotional it was, you know, with this group of
Yeah.
friends and they're really just chasing to to just live a
Hmm.
better life in a really
Yeah,
interesting way. Um,
yeah.
wow, yeah, what a good that's a really good 5. That's a
But
solid 5.
we'll need to we'll need to do a deep dive on genre bases in itself. That's just our general
Yes.
top 5. But we're gonna do like top 5s in specific genres because there's
Mhm.
so much nuance in every one of these things that it'd be hard to say um without looking at the nuance, right? Like
Yeah.
best sci-fi movies, and then deep dive. Why do we think that? What are some of those components
Yes.
to that? So eventually, they'll get that from us too. So the viewers know we're gonna. This is just our random general top 5, not very specific to any genre itself. So we
Solidified.
got those
Yeah,
coming.
this is a very flexible list that we're doing. Um, but
Mhm.
no, yeah, I mean that's a great 5. Um, when it comes down to going over both of the lists, because I wrote your list down just so I can compare it with mine here. Um, I love the timing. I love the different time. I mean, obviously you have Never Ending Story, 1994. What a pretty big jump from things I have like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and even The Shining. I think that's where it makes a
You
really
mean
good conversation.
84? 84.
84 was Never Ending Story. I thought it was 94. Oh my gosh, I'm off. So I'm 10 years off. So yeah,
Yeah,
The Shining that came
because
out
when that
5 years
movie,
earlier,
yes,
1979.
yes. Yes.
Wow.
Let me
What is
catch. Yeah.
My times are off. Sorry to the listeners out there. You might not want to come
No,
to me
no,
for
no.
your
But
years
this
of
is
movies.
good.
Um,
Nah.
that is I mean, I haven't seen Carlito's Way. I will definitely check that out here, hopefully sometime this upcoming week or next week. But yeah, I mean, Star Wars,
84.
Princess Bride, Juice. I mean, those are I could easily probably see. Princess Bride could easily I could probably see jumping into my top 10. Juice, I'll have to do a rewatch because I bet you that'll probably jump up as well. That's a good like almost coming of age, kind of coming into your own like person, not even like the age that's thrown at you at the time. Um, but wow. And kind of going to your Star
You're
Wars
right.
thing, I love
Yeah.
your talking about the Return of the Jedi, and that might lead into a different episode with one of my hot takes. Where personally, I think Return of the Jedi, obviously, it's probably the best adaptation of Luke. Um,
Yeah.
but that might lead into
Agreed.
one of what might be my top 3 Star Wars movie, and this is so crazy for me to even say. Maybe top 5, not top 3. But The Last Jedi. That movie,
Okay.
as much as people they love to hate on it
Break that down.
because
Break that down.
okay, here's
Break it
why.
down.
I'll go into it. We're gonna jump into it. All right, fuck it.
Okay.
So The
Hmm.
Last Jedi. Here's what Return of the Jedi did so well. It obviously showed that Luke was at one of his high points, but also really low. Because when he's confronting Vader in the temple scene, you see how enraged he is at just the mention of his sister, right? And he is
Yep.
wailing on him. I mean, you got the hand that comes off. He's gonna kill him, right?
Yeah.
But that's what happens when Luke is confronted with like the mentioning of whether it's his family or something personal where he feels like he could fail. So when you have here the Last
Mm.
Jedi, and you go into
Mhm.
Luke is teaching this academy
Which, hold
of
on,
Jedi.
just to not to cut you off, but just to
Hit me.
point one other thing out. That is the second movie in that trilogy. Am I right?
Yes, that's the middle. That's
So
where
so
it's so good.
it parallels in the same respect to the second movie in the first trilogy, does it not?
Yes,
I don't think that's by coincidence. I think that's by design. But go ahead. Sorry about that. I
I
just
think
wanted to
that I
point that out because
no.
that's important.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is a big Star Wars trope. Is that a lot of these
Hmm.
first movies match the first movies of the next trilogy. For example, A New
Yeah.
Hope is The Force Awakens is probably a take for take remake of A New Hope. You have this new
Yeah.
person on a desert planet, and yeah, you have
Hmm.
that they're they have this otherworldly calling here, and you have this old hotshot that's had to come in and teach them the ropes. I mean, it's just very much the same.
Yeah.
But with the Last Jedi, having Luke at his own academy, he's teaching the Jedi. It's the prophet. It's like the way that it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be teaching this new generation, and
Yeah.
when his nephew, his sister's kid, kills the
Hmm.
students and goes off
Mm-mm-mm.
with one of the most strongest. I mean, I don't blame Luke Skywalker in any sense for wanting to kill Kylo Ren in that very moment because he saw what could happen, you know? And I
Yeah.
think that is very much like Luke. It's one of those things where, yeah, he
Yeah.
almost killed his dad because of the mention of his sister. The fact that now
Yeah.
all of these kids that his lives were in protection of are dead because he failed them, yeah, I think he has every right to want to go and stop it and kill this kid before who knows how many more could get hurt. And
Yeah.
I think it's a great arc for Luke, and I might get so much crap for that, but I really don't care. It was one of my favorite movies walking out of the theater. There were a few things
Yeah.
that maybe I thought were a little different, were
Yeah.
introducing new force powers. Leia kind of
Yeah.
just getting blasted into space, flying back
Yeah.
in the spacecraft. I mean that was weird, but
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, I mean, I think the whole Luke arc with those movies is really what makes it a solid movie for me.
I gotta agree with you on that. I think I feel the same way about it. I think for the same reasons. Here's my take on that too, and I agree with you on some of that. I think you know the whole thing with Kylo Ren killing those students was very poetically the same as his grandfather in Order 66 killing all those
Hmm.
kids in that temple. And so it's so parallel to that you could see, and I like that they don't draw it out in the comparisons in the movie, but if you're in that know, you do know. You realize
Right.
that at that point. You go, "Holy shit, is he on his Vader shit right now?" So you
Right, yeah.
almost begin to, yeah, you start to tie it in mentally and become a bigger fan from that because you're such a fan already. So I agree with you that. And then going back to Luke, and you're right. When you look at that, it almost humanizes Luke in this
Yes.
struggle where he's supposed to be almost looked at as a Masonic figure towards this, the New Hope, right? And
Yeah.
so he's supposed to be this Masonic figure, but then he has this moment of frailty where he wants to kill his nephew.
Hmm.
He's losing his cool and shit. And so it really brings you back to not everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And no matter how far on this plateau you go, you still gotta be humbled by some experience in life, right? And and
Yeah.
and that I think is the kind of insight to that character that we love so much. And you're right, they are quirky, like drinking the fucking blue milk, and then him just going,
Yeah.
like, and
Straight
like
from the
that
nip.
shit was weird, but and it was funny at the time.
Mm.
My question would be then as a follow-up, is did that live well, right? Like that, like you pointed out, the
Yeah,
Leia coming back from out in the abyss of space and then bringing being
bothered me.
force pulled back into the ship. Did that live well? Did that resonate
Mm,
after seeing it the first time? Like you see it again, be like, man, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I know the
right.
impact of watching it in theater for me specifically was like, damn, that's actually pretty dope. And then like, thank God she didn't die. But then later on when I watched it again, I was like, she could have died right there. I'm cool.
Yeah. And especially was at that
There was
time when
moments
like
like that.
after that movie, that's when obviously Carrie Fisher had unfortunately passed away.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's one of those
yeah.
things where I think that, and obviously no one's to be blamed for their own passing. But
Hmm.
Star Wars really had to kind of figure out what the hell are we going to do
Yeah,
for the rise of Skywalker now, because from
yeah.
what I've heard from the early concept, Leia was going to be a huge part of that movie.
It
She was
was
going to
supposed to
live through
be.
the ending.
Yeah,
Yeah, like she was supposed to go through and carry on with Ray and everybody else.
yeah,
Um, and obviously, when you have something like that, it doesn't take away from the movie, because I think it was also a beautiful send off with Leia and how they handled her death. It wasn't
yeah,
disrespectful. It was kind of Carrie Fisher,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
because she is, the princess, and she's just one of the most
yeah,
wonderful humans in the world. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, Star
And
Wars
she
is
was
one of those
hot.
ones where bad. Oh my God, she was bad as hell. Dude, Jabba, you sly dog.
Come on, man. I'm just
I know
saying.
why you're doing what you're doing. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
maybe that's another one, ranking Star Wars characters. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, for real.
because Ray is like number 2 or 3. Daisy Ridley is very
Really,
attractive.
I thought Natalie Portman is up on that list for
Oh my
me.
God,
Yeah,
Natalie Portman. So see, that's why I said Ray is 2 or 3. Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Padme's 2 or 3 as well. That could
Padme.
flip flop.
Come on, man.
My
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
What a
yeah,
All right, my mind might be racing somewhere else here. We'll get back on the train. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what my take is on Star Wars when it comes down to Return and The Last Jedi. I think both of those movies are
yeah,
so done back to back. I rewatched them back to back once to kind of see how it filtered. Obviously,
yeah,
you're missing a lot with Kylo, the introduction of Rey, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
seeing Return of the Jedi and like where you have Luke confronting this past of like, but I failed, like these Jedi, and you see Yoda come back, and Yoda's like, read these
yeah.
texts, like, did you? And he was like, well, no, and he didn't read these books, but he holds on to these things that are sacred because he feels like he could still achieve, and that's very much what he did when he told Ray, "What do you want me to do? Stand up to the First Order with the laser sword?" And at the end, he's projecting the force of
That was
him
beautiful.
standing up to the First Order with the laser sword. It is poetic. Um, yeah, and I remember getting
That
out of the
is
movie like,
very
I
good
love
point.
that. Luke had a beautiful send off, and the twin sons. We see him go to be one with the Force, and I don't think you could have done that any better in a more respectful way to Luke as well.
To to segue into some of that filler portions of Luke's storyline, how did you feel about him in The Mandalorian being played by Sebastian? Was it Sebastian Stan? No, because he
No,
was
it looks
supposed to
like
be the
him.
stand-in.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks just like him. Where Lucasfilm, if you're
but he was
listening,
just a DH.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because like
Yeah,
Lucasfilm, if you're listening, and I'm 100%, give us a Luke Skywalker spinoff between
yeah,
Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens
yeah,
with Sebastian Stan as Luke. Give me all of it.
yeah.
If you're gonna make a
Give
show
us a
for Obi Wan
Rogue One.
Kenobi, give me the.
Oh
I'm gonna.
man,
I can't hit my desk. I'm sorry, chat, if you heard that. I love Kenobi. Ewan McGregor is perfect, and I think, respect to Alec Guinness, Ewan McGregor is the reason why Obi Wan Kenobi is so popular today.
I agree with you on that. I agree with
And
you.
that show
I
is
mean, there's just
awesome.
that's why I loved 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
And I know those are the ones that are like absolutely hated by multiple generations, but you can't be mad because Ewan McGregor, he was just brilliant in those movies. And I
Yeah.
remember Ewan McGregor at that time wasn't like at the filming of number one, right? He was not that big of a star. He
Yeah.
probably had did some supporting roles. Like I remember him from a movie called Train Spotting, which was an
Okay.
insane movie, not related to anything to do with Star Wars. It was it was him on a drug binge of heroin. It's a bugged
Oh
out
my
Fear
god.
and Loathing Las Vegas esque kind of shit. It is trippy. It's him in England or Ireland, I forgot which one, bugging out, doing heroin. One point he falls into the toilet. Like it's just weird shit. But anyways, it to have him do that role and pivot from what I saw him do originally and carry one, two, and three was
And did
just
such a good job.
chef's kiss, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you're right. Um, he is Obi-Wan for me. And
Same.
I did
And I love
like
Alec
the
Guinness.
I love Allen. No, it's he's great. I don't think it's a competition between them. I don't think that there
Exactly.
is a competition. I think we got two perfect iterations of a character that was always meant to be a sectional character that became prominent in
Yeah.
that whole, you know what I mean,
I mean, he's
universe.
like Star Wars
The-
Jesus, essentially. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
he
Or
is
Moses. I
he
think of
has
him as
been
like Star Wars
that
Moses. Yeah.
that's a better example.
Yeah,
Um,
because Luke would be Jesus if that was like
Luke
if
is
there was any
Jesus.
kind of comparisons. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's just
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and I think that's what Star Wars does a really good job too, is tying it in and giving you a lot of like backstory, or not backstory, but like making it relatable to like religion in a sense too. Where like you have these people that are
Well,
supposed to be the
actually,
chosen
ac-
one, like Anakin, and like
religious correction. Anakin was supposed to be the Jesus, and that was the parallel.
yeah,
And honestly, because the mom did not have sex, she was a virgin, and she
yep,
was
she's the Mother Mary.
powered by the metachlorians. Yeah, and therefore they gave birth to Anakin. Which there's always the
Awesome.
dispute on whether or not it was Lord Sidious or what was his master's
Plagueis.
name?
Yeah, Darth
Plagueis,
Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis
Yeah.
might have been the one that actually gave his mother, some of the metachlorians or some
Right.
shit like I forgot, but some crazy shit like that. But I don't know
It's
if
and
that's
it's
canon. I don't think it's canon, but
I mean, if it's in the movies and they talk about Plagueis, it's canon to me. All I know
no,
is that
I
she got
agree.
filled up with some midichlorian babies and out came Anakin. Um,
Yeah.
which man, I mean, another thing to tie into the Kenobi show, I thought Hayden Christensen was really well as Vader, and the season when he came back as Anakin, the Padawan with the I mean, it was awesome.
Freaking needed
You
it, man.
and
I
that
needed it.
moment of Vader and Kenobi, that is maybe top 5 Star Wars moments of all time. Whereas I'm not your failure, and then in Vader's voice, Obi-Wan, and you're like, dude, the way that they used the lighting from both of their lightsabers, where you would see more of Obi-Wan's blue reflecting in his
The
face
best.
whenever it was Anakin, you'd see the red of Vader when it's Vader talking. I mean, it was so great. But to kind of jump back onto your point before we both start falling in love with Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi,
Hmm.
how did I feel about Luke and Mandalorian? I thought it was I thought it
Hmm.
was really fun. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, it maybe wasn't needed. No, because when I saw that X-wing, I fucking knew who was there, and I knew
Oh,
who was
I
gonna
knew
fuck
it.
shit up. And when you see him just go through, he's crushing with the force, and he's just slashing people. And you see the green lightsaber, and everyone knows the gloved hand with the black cloak, and you see that it's Luke, and I cried. I'm not even gonna be the. I just sobbed. I was like, this is literally what we needed, and that was probably the last fantastic season of Mandalorian. Season 3 was kind of a hit or miss.
I
Um,
think that was a throwaway season, honestly, just to kind of expand the universe a little bit.
yeah,
But that's why I look at it like, okay, every good story needs a filling point, and that's a filler. It was
yes.
a filler. I don't look at it like, oh, they degraded the show or the universe or the TV. I was like, well, we need a filler. It needs some
We
kind
did
of
more.
some fleshing out. That's what it was. It was fleshing out. But Rebels, by the
Oh
way,
my
just to
god.
segue back into Anakin's role in that universe when he was on Rebels and uh or even on Ahsoka, and they
Yes.
gave him his finality, right? Or I just think that Hayden Christensen, just to touch on that real quick,
Mm,
as Anakin Skywalker is brilliant. I think I
I
hate
agree.
the fact that he's typecasted now, but he to me I could not ask from a story point a better actor to portray one of the greatest like stories ever told, because you really are compelled to hate him and then
Yeah.
love him and hate him and love him. I mean, when I think about how he threw the emperor, he defended his son, right? And he threw the emperor. I love that. But then I
Yeah.
also think about how he killed all those kids in the temple, and I'm like,
Yeah. You freak.
it's, like, it's
Like,
fucked up. And the best,
and oh no, you keep going. You keep going.
no, I was gonna say one of the, and I always use this as a metaphor for life, and you know, uh, you don't have the high ground, Anakin. It's
The most quotable. If you say to
yeah.
someone, quote me Star Wars, it's either I have the high ground or it's no, I'm your father. Or the
Or
way
I
a lot
look
of people
up your
get it
father.
wrong,
Yeah.
say, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just Star Wars is another one of those franchises where it's insanely quotable. It does have some really great funny moments too. Um, Anything that has to deal with Han Solo is a
Oh
treat for
man.
anybody. He is
Yeah.
such a great character, and
The
I mean,
smuggler.
nobody better than Harrison Ford to play a guy like him.
No.
It is perfect, and him and Carrie Fisher have fantastic chemistry.
What's
It's
the
yeah, he's just
backstory to
fantastic.
that, by the way? Because the backstory, and I might have this backwards, but my understanding for that was that because Indiana Jones was a Lucas film, and people don't know that, but it,
Mm,
or maybe they do, but a lot of people don't. Um, that he was originally doing Indiana Jones, or
yeah,
maybe I have it backwards. Maybe he was doing Star Wars. No, he was doing Star Wars, and then he did
yeah,
Indiana Jones. I think that's how that went. But if I remember correctly, either he was his greatness was stumbled upon. Like he didn't read for the part and was like, "Oh, you the guy." It was something weird, like he was a studio conveyor. Like he was in the
yeah.
studios cleaning or freaking fault. Like he was I forgot what it is. I might have to look it up, but I know he was never really meant for the role, and then they gave him the role on like they saw him and was like that guy, that type of shit. Like he was like is this flukish type thing, and so that makes the story even better. The fact that he's this freaking like this guy that wasn't meant for the role, but he's you could never see him but that. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Exactly.
ill shit about it.
The
Yeah.
crazy thing about Indiana Jones, and this is one that I'm not sure a lot of people know either. Um, that role for Indiana Jones before they considered Harrison Ford. Did you know? Do you?
Oh,
Here's a little trivia. Do you know who they were looking at to be Indiana Jones?
I don't remember who it is, but I know it was somebody else. I know it was somebody popular at the time.
A very Tom Selleck. Now, do those movies
Thank God
carry
he's
the
in it.
same weight? Exactly. Do they even carry the same weight if Tom Selleck even plays it? Because that would be a totally different Indiana Jones if he does. That
See,
would be
and
this
that's the funny
brawny,
thing, because
macho, not funny Indiana
not gonna
Jones.
happen. Overly charismatic, not gritty enough.
Yes. He would be more like what's his name? I'm blanking right now here. Let me just look it up actually.
But while you do that, here's something, and I know we talked about our 5 favorite movies. That's
Mm,
probably one of those interchangeable movies for me is Indiana Jones. And the Temple of Doom.
yes.
Kalima. That's the one of, like, honestly, like, Indiana Jones to me is one of my favorite franchises. It
Yeah.
is it's up there. I can't believe I didn't put that in my top 5. I'm almost feeling stupid for not doing that. Because I
I
love it. I love it so much.
I almost put it in there. Because I was gonna put in possibly Raiders of the Lost Ark or Last Crusade. Um,
I
I
mean,
have
Last Crusade,
what a good Sean Connery. He
Sean
is the
Connery.
guy.
Sean
Oh my
Connery.
god. I mean,
Indy was the
I
name of the dog.
it's so good. I have an original. This is another thing I'll take a picture for the pod for. I have the original 1981 Marvel um, printed Raiders of the Lost Ark comic, and it is just one
Wow.
of my favorites. And
Best.
yeah, Indiana Jones will. That's one franchise that'll stick with me forever. I was Indiana Jones for Halloween when I was 10. I had the hat, I had the whip, I had the leather jacket. I was the coolest kid that got laughed
My
at
son Dion
because
was too. My son Dion too.
you
I was
got to.
like, "You're gonna be Indiana." Yeah, I'll find a
You
picture.
have
You
to.
have to find a picture. We'll put pictures up on that.
Dude,
Yeah,
it is
yeah, we'll have
just
to find pictures.
every kid has
Yeah,
imagined themselves, or every person, because every person has to
easy.
imagine themselves as Indiana Jones. Everybody has ran and like slid on the ground acting like you're going underneath some stone door coming about. I mean, come on. Who hasn't done
100.
that? Like who doesn't
Whip
do that?
over a whip on a tree and
Yes,
swinging across.
swinging
I mean,
across.
pitfall. Forget
Come on,
about it.
guys. And
Now I
everybody
will
got their
say
fear of snakes from Indiana Jones.
from Indiana
Yeah,
Jones, I
that's where
hate
mine came
snake.
from.
Oh man, listen. I will say this. There was a time where when I was in my mid teenage years, probably early to mid teenage years, I was looking for the short round Yankee cap.
Oh
As
my
a
God,
Yankee
yes.
fan, I was looking for that specific pinstripe Yankee hat everywhere because I wanted it. I wanted
So
it
dope.
so bad. And I did find it. I
Oh
found
yeah?
it, and yes, I did. And I had it, and I lent it to my brother Jay, and he lost it.
No. The podcast mission is gonna be to get that hat back. We're gonna find that hat.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
crazy,
mission. Cause
crazy,
man, Ki
crazy.
Hui Kwan, I
That shit
mean,
unlocked a
short round is
memory.
awesome.
First of
He
all,
is
his bounce back,
deserved,
immaculate,
deserved,
well deserved.
1000%. I have a short round
Loki,
Funko Pop I want to
oh,
send him. Dude,
oh, you
he
should,
is
dude.
great.
That he would love that. He's such a
Yeah, I would
humble
want to send
dude
him.
too, man. Oh,
And he's one of those
dude,
ones that like he was typecast after Indiana Jones. I mean, because you also had him in the Goonies, he was pretty much almost the same character.
same
Um,
character.
and then
Yeah.
after that, I don't think he never
No,
had a lead role anywhere after that. He's never been any
no.
more other than supporting. Um, but
Yeah.
he
And he
deserves the
said there
entire
was a
world.
time where he just stopped. He didn't want to be in Hollywood because he felt that that was the only roles they were giving him, and he didn't want to be that person. And
Good.
respect, dignity. Have
Yeah,
your dignity. Don't sell
that's
that.
knowing your
Don't sell
worth.
that. And look where he's
Um,
come. Everything all at once. Fucking
yes.
amazing movie. Beautiful.
Uh, Love
Low
Hurts that
key
just came out.
season 2. Love hurts. I mean, to
Dude,
me, I think his bounce back is immaculate. Is just and he's such a. I mean, again, he's such a humble dude. I love it. I think he's great. I think he's a
I
great
think if
dude.
that's one
Yeah,
story that
yeah,
anybody needs to know is his, because that's one of those things
yeah.
where even if and you know with a lot of people that may listen to this, if they're thinking about like how old or how young they are, if they aren't in a certain place yet, Because I remember when I graduated high school, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm 18 years old. I'm not working for Marvel
Mm.
Studios. My life's a failure. It's like, no. First of all, it comes to everybody at a different time. And with
Yeah.
Kihei Kwan's story, I mean, he's what, 9 or 10?
Gotta be.
And then you go 40 years until you're getting your next big breakout and it happens. You just got to be,
Yeah.
you got to have patience. You got to just be, I
Crazy.
don't even want to say persistent because he stopped for a while.
Hmm.
You just got to have
Yeah.
confidence and be patient with
Yeah.
grandfather time because it knows, and it knows when you're ready for something. Maybe right now you're just not ready for it. So, for people that are listening that kind of struggle with that, I think that's a good message and that's a good story to look into if you want something that kind of makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. Is that it'll come. Just work and be
Good
patient.
point. Good point. Very good point. And I mean, I think I would segue right in that moment there because of Loki, right? So here's a
Hmm.
question that maybe we can jump into with Jonathan Majors specifically. This is controversial.
Sirens,
Controversial.
sirens.
Right? Trigger point.
That's
Uh,
right.
I I hate that he's not in there no more, right? I hate
Yeah,
that his character's written off. I thought he was so good in Loki
dude, Victor
season
Timely.
1.
Oh my
He
god,
was so
loved watching
good
Victor
in
Timely.
season 2. I really I liked him in Quantumania, and I know that's the least liked movie. I
I thought he was
loved him in it.
brutal and violent.
I think he was amazing. And I was
Yeah,
looking forward to having more of him developed in that brutal manner. And I regret that he's not in
mhm.
that he's not the main villain anymore. And even if he wasn't to consistently be the main villain anymore, I'd wish they'd gave him the proper send off and not the one that we saw in
Yeah,
Quantumania as the explanation. Like I think I get it. There's some, you know, horrible stuff that's centered around the actor with his personal life. I get that. But I think the art is different than his personal life. And
yeah,
I get they don't want to fund his personal life by giving him jobs, but I think what they did was they made a hasty decision because obviously the court case didn't go out the way that everybody thought it would, where he was convicted and was this bad guy and all of that. But I
yeah.
think Disney dropped the ball by terminating his career immediately and canceled him. And I think they, and I do believe they're regretting that to some degree because
I
even
think
with
so.
going into Doom, which is a great direction, by the way, I think that they should have used him as that segue point. What you say? What is your point on that? What do you feel?
I agree. I mean, it's one of those things where, and don't get me wrong, Doom has been one of my favorite villains of all time, and just the anticipation of Doomsday, kind of just going back and reading everything that I can of Victor, and makes me just feel like, without any sort of debate, he is Marvel's greatest villain. I think there is
I
so
agree.
much to him that he is just so compelling. He is emotionally hurt. He's
Yeah.
distraught. He can't show the world that, and he won't show the world that. And he doesn't
Yeah.
trust anybody enough to have them feel that way. And when I
Well,
when I heard
those he has is the reason why he has nemesis. Is let's just say that. But yeah,
exactly,
go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry
I
about
mean that's why
that.
we have him and Reed Richards, the greatest
Hmm.
rivalry of all time. Move over Green Bay
Yeah.
and Chicago, um, in my opinion,
That's funny.
but. Um, But yeah, it's just one of those things where I think King would have been a really good stair-stepping villain because of the
Mhm.
introduction for the Council of Kings. I mean,
I agree.
you're telling me there's an infinite number or millions of numbers of Kings, and not one is different than Jonathan Majors? You're telling me one of them can't be, let's see, like a John Boyega or anything like that. Like,
Which is what I was hoping for.
right. Like, come on. You're telling me that it can't be any of these guys? Like,
Or the
even
other guy, what's his name from The Walking Dead? God, I can't think of his name right now. So fucking good of an actor. I thought
I know who I
there were
wanted.
talks with him.
I wanted John David Washington from Tenet. Dude, him as Kang?
Denzel's son.
Yes! Give it to
Oh
us. Because here's the
yeah,
thing. You have all these actors that can do it. And there's obviously
yeah.
there. I mean, you have all these different versions of Kang
Wow,
who aren't the same. They don't look the
wow,
same. You
wow.
have, and that's I think is a misball by Marvel, and they're definitely kicking themselves for it.
Yeah,
Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. Are you jumping into
yeah,
Doom a little too early? Probably.
yeah.
He's a villain you
But
have
I
to
think,
introduce in a movie.
yeah,
You go, he's not our conflict
yeah,
right now, but you got to know that he could be up to something. He is not
yeah.
he is not right in the head. You can't defeat him in a movie. My biggest gripe with Fantastic Four's movie was that they defeated Galactus so easily. This guy eats
Yeah,
worlds. And we
yeah,
don't see Silver Surfer for the last third of the movie, and the next thing you know, because Johnny talks to her through this language and deciphers all this stuff, she comes back and gets Galactus into the portal. Come on, guys.
yeah. That felt very ill-fitted. I agree with you on that. Although I
Like,
love the movie, it's a
it
7 out
was
of
awesome.
10 for me. Yeah, it's
Yes.
7 out of 10 for me.
And
And
that's
and I
fair.
take it any day, but yeah, yeah, I do think those imperfections speak loudly towards
Yeah.
their world building and their overlap for the storylines. Yeah, I agree with you. Agree
Because
with
it's also one of those things where,
you. Yeah.
like, where do you go from afterwards? Because if the Fantastic Four are so dead set on saving their people, saving this planet, and as far as we know, they're the only super people in their universe on Earth, so there's no Avengers. Now you have this whole thing with Doom coming in. Um, does Fantastic Four go, well, we're Earth's only saviors, but we will abandon our entire Earth to go help these other
It's
people?
crazy.
How do you do it? Like that's the thing
Exactly.
where with Doomsday, you got to kick it into
That's
going to
kind of
be like, hey,
dark.
we got Battle World,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Do
because
you
that's tough.
think though, and at that point right there, do you think, and maybe you are saying this, that Doom is rushed? Is that what you're saying? Because we're going right, they're introducing Doom in a way that we're getting Battle World at the same time, rather than getting Doom and then Battle World. Is that what you're
And build
saying?
exactly, yes, because they're not
Okay.
building
Okay.
Doom the way that he should be. I think maybe what Marvel's
Yeah.
relying on is like, hey, fans of the comics and the fans of Doom they're gonna know who he is. They're gonna have a good idea of
Yeah.
what Battleworld is because of Jonathan Hickman's 2015 run and the Avengers versus X-Men before that that leads up into it. That is awesome, but you got to, and I think what they're doing too is that it's like, hey, we're gonna give you Doom, but for the people that don't know Doom, we got Robert
Mm,
Downey Jr. to play him. And you love
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, so you're gonna want to see this movie. And Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America because you
Yeah.
love
So
Captain
wait a
America.
minute. Wait a minute. So are you saying they're placating to the audience in a way that they're dismissing a lot of the importance of the storyline building because we have this fanfare happening with Robert Downey
I
Jr., Chris Evans?
I
Is that what you're
unfortunately
saying?
I don't want to believe so, but my heart of hearts tells me that. Because here's the
I
thing, you
agree
have
with
such a
you.
great
That's the
you have
thing.
you have such a great end
Yeah,
off with Steve and Peggy. I mean, you have him dancing with the girl of his dreams, and now you're gonna go back and change it? And
yeah,
you can give me Doom. You can have me. I don't mind Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. He's a great actor, one of the greatest ever.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But there's a lot of actors out there that could probably play Doom maybe a little bit better than him. Like you have Killian Murphy,
yeah.
who was my pick to be Doctor Doom. He would have been
Oh,
fantastic.
so good.
That's someone who has just dead eyes.
Oh,
Like it's
dude,
just
yes. I
he's
think he would have
incredible.
been the William Dafoe of the Marvel universe
Yes,
in that sector of
agreed.
things. I agree with you. He could have lived on for a few good runs.
And that's what you do after Doomsday and after Secret Wars, because Doom is probably going to be a prolific, you know, a prominent character in Secret Wars, I should say.
Yeah,
after
Yeah.
Secret Wars, how do you either kill Doom? Do you have it where there's just another Doom in this new kind of soft reboot that the MCU's doing? Like,
I think that's what's
do you
gonna
even care
happen.
about introducing him again?
I
Because if you
think
introduce him
that's
one, can you
I
get him
don't.
again, or are you just gonna defeat him the same way?
So that's a good. That's actually a interesting question, right? Because when you have such a star-studded guy like Robert Downey Jr. and almost the argument we've had with Wolverine, right? Or
Mhm.
even Charles, right? Xavier, right? There, I think we look at it and we wonder how can you supplement when these people are iconically who these characters are for us in our minds. And if you do that with Doom, where you play it so well, you got 3 movies you're gonna do. It's gonna be, I imagine it's gonna be Robert Downey Jr. for the 3.
Yeah.
They could pivot, but if you do, how then you reboot Doctor Doom with this new younger actor, and we're gonna just go, okay, thanks a lot. It's
I-
almost the fight we're having with Wolverine right now. Like, how do you reintroduce a mutant academy with these guys and these girls that we already seen great actors for? I mean, I don't know. It's a good, like the whole problem with Blade, right? Like we saw that with Blade, like Mahershala Ali, which I was excited for. But could I have
Still
seen
am.
another Wesley Snipes? Could have. He's young enough. I think he could have done it. I mean,
I
hell,
mean,
give me an older Wesley Snipes Blade. I'm cool with that too.
and Deadpool Wolverine
Shit, give
showed us just that. He can still be a fucking badass because he is. It's just Wesley Snipes is the walking
yeah.
definition of I'm a badass. And I love that
In
guy.
real life, in
Yeah.
real life, he is. Yeah,
He is
he did
Blade in real
time.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things
Remember
that's hard
acting that went
for
in, came out, and still dope as hell. Like,
it's just hard to like if you're Marvel and I don't think there's never going to be an end point where people have to get off the train or maybe they have to shut their doors. Um but when you got characters like Iron Man and you do a soft reboot, I mean, how do you step into the foot in the shoes of Robert Downey Jr.? You
that's
can't.
that is
You just can't. He'll always be
no, you can't.
1B to Robert Downey Jr. It'll always be, oh, it's
So
not Robert Downey Jr., he's the worst.
so let's talk about the recipe that I think they've been trying vehemently to pursue. And
Yeah.
that's that um Riri Williams, that's uh what's her name that was playing next to Hawkeye, that she was
Oh,
gonna
Kate
be the
Bishop.
new Kate Bishop,
Love her.
uh and the young Ant-Man girl, what's her name?
Oh, Cassidy.
Um God,
Or Cassie Lane. Sorry,
Cassidy,
Cassie Lane. Yeah.
Cassie Lang. Um, and these were the supplements to not replacing the characters, actors with other ones that's going to fill the role, but
Yeah.
rather these people that inherit the role, right? And I
Yeah, they're
thought
like the
that was their
legacy kind
original
of
agenda.
characters.
Yeah, yeah. And so I don't think they're gonna do that anymore with this reboot. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
eliminate some of that, you know, characters types and bring in a whole new Marvel. This is my thinking.
I
I
think
mean, that's the
so.
way it feels like they're doing with Doom, with Jonathan Hickman's storyline, right? Like
Yeah.
how many of these people die off and they're gone, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's
It's
going
like,
to be the cream of the crop characters, is what it is.
yeah.
And those characters are not going to be the ones that we've seen in the 616 this far, and we'll get a whole new line of people. How I feel about that is I just don't want it to be campy. Don't give us a
Yeah.
campy ending. Don't I don't know. I just don't want it to be
Break my heart
corny.
again.
Don't do us like that. Yeah, break
You
my
know,
heart again. I'm okay with that.
give me
Yeah.
Infinity War again, where our heroes just vanish. I was telling one of my good friends, JT, about this the other day of like my ideal ending of Doomsday going into Secret Wars. Um, at the end of Doomsday, I think you have it where obviously Battle World's then getting created, and
Yeah.
you have it where like you see these visions of these planets and worlds being lost, and it's the heroes that we know and love,
Yeah.
just their universes are just being boop collapsed, gone out of the into
Yeah.
existence. And then in Secret Wars, because everyone's gonna go into Secret Wars being like, well, Infinity War we lost, Endgame we win. So after Doomsday, when everybody loses, they're gonna say, "Oh, Secret Wars,
Mm.
everybody will win. We'll see everybody again." At the beginning of the Secret Wars, you just go like a black screen and you just put the text on the screen, or it's just like universe like 616. You do like 2008, 2027, and then you go to you just wipe that clean, and we never see the people that we just saw at the end of Doomsday. It is just now we're kicking the story off. Here's what Secret Wars is going to be about. Don't even show me anything with those universes. They die. We see them die. And then that's how you kick off Secret Wars. I don't want any end game
Want a
like bring
whole
them
new?
back on your left. Not all new characters, like this characters that survive through Doomsday, they'll be in
Oh,
Secret
okay,
Wars.
okay.
But let's say you
Like a
have
Tom Holland.
like yeah, like you have Toby go back to his world, or you have James Marsden
Okay,
Cyclops go back to his world, and you see the just
okay.
the worlds collapse. In
Gone.
Secret Wars, yep,
Okay.
you saw that already. That's it. They died. Like, just give me something brutal, you know? Or
No,
if
no,
you want
I
to just
agree
have
with
them really die in a crazy way, do it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think,
Just do it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Don't give
here's
us off-screen deaths either. I don't want
no,
off-screen deaths because that
no.
leaves that whole assumption that there's
There's a
still a possible,
chance.
and the internet runs crazy
Exactly.
with that, and I don't want it. Yeah. No, give us
Same.
on-screen deaths. Let me finite
Yep.
that shit. We could close the chapter on that and let's move forward with whatever other bullshit you're gonna give
Yep.
us. I'm cool with that.
Give
Fuck it.
me,
Let
give
it
me some
happen.
John Wick. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I'm getting the YouTube channel wrong, but give me those people that do like the death counter videos on John Wick. Do that for Marvel.
Yeah.
Kill fucking
Yeah.
50 people on screen. I don't care. Just show me that they're dead so I don't go out of the theater thinking, well, hey, I didn't see this person actually die. So I know in the next movie they're going to find a way to bring him back. Like, don't do that to me. Because they did that
You
with
know
Scarlet
what?
Witch.
Yes. Don't bring her back. I don't want her back.
No,
I don't want the reunion. I don't want that. I'm good. I hear people murmuring saying, "Oh, well, she should meet Magneto and that's her death." Like, no, no, I don't want that. I don't
no,
want that. I don't want that. I don't want it at all. No, no, let's get rid of it. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
100%.
Nah, not at all. Get her. I'm good with her gone. I loved her finality. I'm cool with that. Mom was great.
WandaVision was great.
Crushed her dead.
Yup,
WandaVision was
done.
amazing. Dead. Good. I'm gone. You
I
know who
agree.
was good for that? X-Men 97 was amazing for that.
Dude,
And that last season, because you seen in the most heartbreaking ways so many people die. And you're like,
yeah.
holy shit, are they doing this right now? It was
They don't
amazing.
fucking
So
play.
I want something like that. I want something
I
like
agree.
that. Don't fuck around. Give us the endings. I'm cool with that. Close the book.
I agree.
People will be hurt, yes, but not enough to they disown the entire freaking Marvel universe. They'll be fine. People will get over it. Open up the new chapter with a little girl running, and she's all of a sudden trips and falls, and she looks up, and there's a fucking sentinel about to crush her, and
Yes.
somebody comes underneath and pushes the foot up, and it's a whole new slew of actors, and they're like, and now we have a new X-Men.
We
I'm
kick it in.
cool because they want to do the mutant saga because that's the very
Yes.
next thing that happens. Let's just start from there. That's it.
And I
Start from there.
and I
New
think
shit happens.
that is a fantastic transition. It's a fantastic point that you make with X-Men because this summer Marvel Studios is starting to film X-Men in London. No cast obviously to
Yeah.
be announced. I
Which
think a great
good.
way. Yeah, no, literally. Don't give me a cast until the trailer comes out. I don't give a fuck, you know?
Straight up.
I'm patient.
Keep me
Um,
assuming all. But please
yes.
don't give me same old fucking people. I love
Don't bring
James
Fox
Ross. I
back.
love them all. I
I
don't
don't
need them.
want it.
I don't need them.
Doomsday is going
No.
to be a great send off for those characters because
Yeah.
that franchise is dead, just like how Fox is. Um,
Let's just
but a
say
great
goodbye.
way to end this episode. just some fun points. Number one, with X-Men, it's a supposedly a younger core and a younger cast, which I like. I like that you're going to have these guys be
Yeah,
a foundation and a building block.
yeah.
If I were to ask you, Bruce, give me 5 X-Men that you want to see on this team on the roster to start out this new rebooted universe. Who are you giving me?
I love that question. So I'm gonna start with saying who I don't want real quick. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want Wolverine. I do
Agreed,
not want him there. I
100%.
don't want him there. I do want to see a Kitty Pryde.
Yes, yes,
I do want that. Um, I don't want a Colossus, although I love Colossus. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Colossus. And every iteration from Deadpool to the original X-Men has been dope to me. But I
yes.
don't want him. I don't want him this early. I really want, if you like, and I think you and I spoke about this, I really want the throwback old school X-Men with the fucking yellow X across the suit, black
Yeah.
suit. Even Beast was not even, he wasn't transformed into the blue Beast. He's just a
Yep.
short man with fucking acrobatic skills, Danny DeVito-esque looking weirdo, right?
Yes.
Um, Hyper intelligent. I want that. I want that old school. I want Cyclops. I want an early Jean Grey. Um,
Hey, we're
I
probably gonna get one
want
in Brand New Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I want I want a Bobby, I want an Iceman. Uh
Yes.
Kitty
Classic.
Pryde. So right there, I would say, okay, so far, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Kitty Pryde, Bobby, right, Iceman,
Hmm.
and then let me think, damn, let me think. Oh, and then Beast, right? That'll be my five right there. That's my
He's
five.
awesome. I love Beast.
That's my five. Yeah, no
I love your
Nightcrawler
five.
yet. That'll be our second generation. Second generation would be Nightcrawler. We'd get a Colossus in there. We'd get Jubilee in there. It'd be almost that 90s run version where we'd
Right.
see then Wolverine come in. Like, we'll get that. We'll get that then. Like an Omega Red fight, that kind of shit. Like later on. I don't want that early in. I don't want that. I don't want that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that list.
Yeah.
My list,
Yeah.
if I had to have a 5, this is this is going to be a little bit of a lot some deep cuts if you're not like a comic reader or anything like that or an avid enjoyer of those. Um, I I mean the X-Men animated series and X-Men 97 rejuvenated my love for Jubilee. I remember
Yeah.
having a crush on her growing up.
Holy
And
shit.
I'm just like, yep, she is one of my favorites. So Jubilee would be there. I agree. You got to get a Cyclops and Jean Grey. I mean, you have to actually show us that they love each other, and I don't feel like we've
Yeah.
really ever gotten to that pinnacle of their relationship. It's more so a chore that they love each other. Even in X Men
Damn,
'97,
that's a good point.
we're almost 50% of like, do they actually love each other, or is it just the situation, the predicament that they found themselves in because of their beliefs?
Damn, that's a good point. Good point,
And
man. Wow.
that's all I think about when I see those two. So a true love story
Wow.
is what I'd love. Um,
Hmm. Like a
and
like
then
a early teenage blossoming romance is what you're saying,
yes,
right?
you could even
Okay,
give it
okay,
to me
okay,
where they fall in love at the institute at Xavier's Academy.
okay.
Like you could give me something
I
like
like
that in
this.
class, like um. And then for the three on, I mean Bishop. My brother loved Bishop growing up, and that dude's a
Fucking love Bishop.
badass. He is so sick. Along with Forge, but Forge I wouldn't have introduced here just yet. He's someone you have to be.
Yeah.
He's got to be cast as an older guy. Um, but then going straight from the comics in the newer
Yeah.
X Men run, Armor. I
Oh,
mean,
Armor's dope. Armor's dope. Hell
dude,
yeah.
she would
Oh.
be awesome because that also just gives you
Oh.
more of the youth. And then
Okay.
my all-time favorite X Men for everybody listening, Chamber. One of the
Okay.
coolest designs. He has no fucking jaw because it's all fire and just he is the coolest character and I think he's your Wolverine kind of like um
Oh, okay. Okay.
trauma kind of guy of the group. And
Mm,
I think it also just gives a lot of people eyes on these X-Men that they're not aware of. There's so many X-Men that people do not know. I mean,
Mhm.
I would even love to see Morph in some capacity in the MCU.
Well, so
Um,
I like that. I don't know if I'd see him in my first iteration of the New
no,
Mutants. I definitely would love to see him eventually
he
because
might be in my
of
third wave.
yeah, I would say definitely in that later wave because he's such a I think he's such an interesting character, and 97 does a good job of really touching on what that means. I mean,
Yeah,
they took a political stab at it, but I also think that we should have always assumed that of that character because there's no sexual type.
yeah,
The person is asexual because, or not even asexual, non-sexual or non-binary because what do you do if you can transform from guy to girl anyways, right? So I
right.
just always thought that that character was such an interesting character. It was a perfectly aligned character. 97 did him justice. But do I see him in the first? I don't see him in the introductory phase.
No,
I will ask you this question though. If we get a Cyclops, and yours and mine's both, we said that we would see it. There's two things that I would ask in extension to that. Do we get a Jean Grey that eventually starts to display, and I know
we
you know
going
where I'm
there?
going with
Are we
this.
going there? Okay,
What am I asking?
we're gonna go to the
What
Dark
am I
Phoenix.
asking? Do we see some early, does Marvel dare take a breadcrumbs? We don't have to have full on,
Yeah,
but
don't drop it on my plate
breadcrumbs,
right
like
away.
some weird, yeah, some weird tellings, for Easter egg kind of moments that for us that are nerdy will catch and be like, oh shit, oh, that
We're
might be
going.
next. And for Cyclops, because both of those characters are in our picks, do we see an Angel storyline
Oh,
that gives a little bit of that dark history towards their the Summers family? Do we get some of that, like, because those guys, their story is very fucking interesting. And to touch on Angel's story, there was some ambiguity around him
yeah,
possibly have been a fallen angel or something in that parallel because of his sexual interests.
yeah.
So I
I
wonder
never
if
thought
we
about
get
that.
an well, I wonder if we see uh like a because when you think about it, Angel was within I don't know if it was the second, I don't think it was the first, maybe it was the first. I think maybe he was in the first actually iteration of the X-Men where
Yeah, where he's trying to cut his wings
he
off.
didn't yeah. Yeah, and then he became Archangel, right? Because then he had the
Yep.
metal wings, but originally he had just the feathered wings, right?
Mhm.
Um, I wonder if we see that. I wonder if we see
I hope.
because we have Scott, do we end up getting damn, I can't think of his brother's name, but do we get the other Summers brother Archangel or Angel? You know what I mean?
I
Like
would
I
love
wonder.
that. And if we're delving into mutants, um, I for some of these characters that have these physical mutations, um, I kind of hope they delve into a little bit of the body horror aspect of it, like how their body's actually
Ooh,
changing. Like, remember watching
eesh.
Angel's wings come out of his back and he's trying to cut him
That
off?
was
I would remember
fucked up.
squirming. Like,
Ugh,
give me more
that
of that.
still lives in my mind. That still
Yeah.
lives in my mind.
Like, I need some more of
Oh
that
my
here. And
god.
I want more of I just love Cyclops as a character. I have his pin. He's one of my favorite X-Men. He needs to be a true leader. You can't
I
have
agree with
characters
that.
come in like Mystique. You can't have characters come in like Wolverine that are like the so leaders because their name.
Yeah,
Show that
yeah,
Cyclops is that fucking guy. Show him that he is a
yeah,
combat strategist. He's tactical. He's smart. He's aware.
yeah,
He knows his angles. Like, I mean, that guy, one of the brightest minds there, but they don't treat him like one. So
yeah.
that's what
I
I would
agree.
do.
They play him down. They play him down, and I agree
Yeah.
with you on that. I think his character is so pinnacle to you know, to the whole role. I mean, to me, my X-Men, this whole thing that we
Oh,
see when that's said is really a, it's really a it's really a Scott thing. So I think
Yeah,
honestly, yes, I agree. I agree. I
I
think
think
I would. Yeah, yeah.
one
Who
hundred
would be the
percent.
villain though? Who would we get? Do we get a traditional Magneto as the villain, or do we end up getting an apocalypse storyline? What do you think, or even sidelined with a Cable? I mean, do we? What do you see in that first run? Who's our
You can
villain?
have this kick me off and have this guy be your villain who kind of comes back to the X-Men every few years. I want Mr. Sinister.
Which that's the rumor, by the way. That's what the
Really.
rumor is.
If it
Yeah, the
is, that's going
rumor
to be a
is that
top
we're.
5 fucking movie in the MCU.
Yeah,
They've never done him
I mean,
right.
I've
They've
heard
never done him like live
no,
action.
no, and I think you you definitely have a long storyline invested with Mr. Sinister because you end up getting the Sentinels and all of these different things because of his part that he plays in it. You get
The clone, the
other
Madeline
iterations,
Pryor
the
story.
clone, Madeline Pryor. Yeah, we get Madeline. We get, I mean, which we get Bishop, I mean not Bishop, Cable from. I mean, so there's
Yep.
this. I think you're right, Mr. Sinister. But where would that put Magneto? How would then, if you don't have Magneto
You can't have
that
there.
early
It's one or
on?
the other. It's like it's kind of like you have to have one with the other. You know what I mean? Like, do you show? And maybe you kind of throw it out there where you have Magneto the entire movie. We're looking at him from this different lens of like, hey, maybe he is here to help Charles and the school and everything. And then at the end, you see that's when he turns on the young X-Men. And they're like, wait, what's going on? Something happens with Charles. You get him out of the mix for about a movie, and now they're just worried about Magneto. You could do something realistically like that.
I mean, but that's kind of his. He's always been the antagonist, but he's also an anti-hero throughout thematically, even the Fox movies and
Hmm.
their other iterations of that. Um, and X-Men 97. So we do see redemption from him periodically in that way. So I could
Yeah,
see that also being some kind of moving piece behind the scenes, and not him being upfront as the villains. I think that could be the
you got to
thing.
start him off
My
early
other
if you do.
question, yeah, that's why I think that. I mean, I think also kind of like what we were saying with Doom, right? Like, don't throw him out there, but make him a part of the storyline.
Right.
And then do we get do we get his children officially? I know I said I didn't want to see Scarlet Witch, but I didn't want to see her as Scarlet
With
Witch. Do
Olsen.
we get a Scarlet? Yeah, I don't want to see Olsen. Do we get a
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch in the proper way? Do we get
Yes.
um right? Do we get the Brotherhood? Do we
Yes.
get these people? Do we get that? I mean, because that's exactly what happens. We get this evolution of Magneto and his own school of mutants that are these
Mhm.
villain-esque, rogues gallery of villains. Do we get that? And
I
are they represented by Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch? Do we get that?
Yeah, I think you do. I think almost in a way you'd have to because with how popular Scarlet Witch has gotten with the MCU and their fans, that's something you could easily throw out in like another movie. You if Marvel Studios doesn't take advantage of how popular X-Men like can be, they could easily have a movie where you have, X-Men Dark. Like you could literally
Hmm.
just have a spin-off like that. You They need to capitalize on shit like that. That is a whole
That would be
that
a
is a
bet.
whole other day of conversation on that one. I think I think a good place to end the episode off for the viewers,
Yeah.
for the audio listeners is if you were to start an X-Men group, you have 5 choices to pick from or 6, that's fine. Who would you pick and why? And if you want, you can even throw your fan cast in there. Like, who'd you even want to cast as the characters? Um, but yeah, that's I think that's a good solid place to kind of call it here until our next episode, within the next few
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that is a brilliant place. And don't be shy. Don't don't
Yeah.
be shy. Give us your characters and give us your characters in full context. Let us know why. Like,
Yeah, if you
definitely.
want Wolverine, tell us.
Yeah, tell
Look,
us. Yeah,
I
yeah, I'm
don't, but if
for it.
you want him, cool.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could tell
yeah.
me that you want the lineup like the Fox X-Men back. Fine. Just tell me why.
But
You
tell
know?
us why. Yeah, but tell
Yeah,
us
tell
why.
me
Yeah.
why. But yeah, I mean that's a fantastic spot to go through and end it off of. If you enjoy
Yeah.
these rambles and the way that we kind of jump around, this is an average conversation between Bruce and I at work. So if you're a fan of stuff like this, or if you're just a fan of anything nerdy, I mean, definitely drop a follow and a like. Make sure to keep following along for anything more. Join our Discord. Um, but yeah, we're on pretty much everything now. We have a link tree set up on our channels. You can find us everywhere you need to go here, and Spotify soon. So
And just to say one other thing real quick, we'll also this is the pilot episode. There'll be more structure in some of the other episodes. We're just kind of touching base on some of the things that we wanted to talk about this time as an introduction, but we'll have more structured conversations to where we're focused on specific things. And also, if you guys have subjects that you want us to talk about that are within that world, don't be shy. Send us those questions as well, and we'll certainly try to answer them the best within fact or reason of our own design as well, right? So yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I
Or
mean that's a
specific
great place
questions for
to.
Stephen.
Or
Good
Bruce.
questions for you versus good questions for me too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean don't feel like scared to comment what you want to say on the show. I think that would be a fun segment where we talk about maybe what the viewers want to talk about. But yeah, you can
And
give us stuff
dispute.
whether it's
Heck,
yeah,
you want
give
to
us
challenge something we said? Do it.
do
I'm
it.
here for it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the biggest critic of
Give me
myself,
all the
so
smoke. Give
yeah,
me all
I'm
the
ready
smoke.
for it. Because guess what? I'm behind a screen and I can say whatever I want. So
Yeah.
no, but truly, I mean, we appreciate anybody that listens to it here. We're not looking for anything crazy. We just want to have a good time, as everybody else does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely join the Discord. We got a lot of fun conversations going on over there here, whether it's disagree or agree, rankings, tier lists. We're gonna have it all here soon. So, if you guys want more of that, just go through and you know where to find it. Anything else from you, Bruce?
No. Take care. Peace. Have a good weekend.
Alrighty, have a good weekend, everybody. Peace out.
Yo, the quantum couch. The quantum couch. The quantum couch. You better bit that shit. The quantum couch. You better bit that shit. It's Steven and Bruce. The quantum couch.